Hey Flosstube, welcome back. For anyone who's new, my name's Sadie and this is my little area where I talk about cross stitch. So hope you guys are having a good February. I've been passing. I always say that the time is flying, but let's just get into it. So I had 2 FFOs, but if you saw my short, those have already been given to their recipients, but I will post a picture of them. Also got a start and a finish, new start, whips, haul, and then we'll see what the plans will be for February. So I got my wonderful stack here. Oof. And we'll just go through. So the first the FFO that I did were of the Chaos Birds. Last time you guys saw them, they were just in the works in progress. They were for 2 people at work, and I was definitely in the mood. I got them done 2 weekends ago and found small frames. I found them in Michael's because they were an odd size. I tried going to like Home Goods, because sometimes they have cuter frames, and no one had like a 5x5, which would have been a great size for this. If I did the 4x4, the edges of the birds would have been touching, but it worked out great with the frames that I found, and I just put them with some interfacing on the back, and then I just folded the fabric, I ironed and folded it to fit nicely within the frames, and they worked out. So I thought they looked great. My colleagues love those. So those are off to their new owners. So that was really fast. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to hold on until today. So I'm sorry if you guys don't get to see it with me. But I did do a little short video to show you what they look like. So you guys can go watch that. So then we'll just jump into the start and finish. That one is essentially the February motif for D20 Stitches Stitch for Pride. And that one also went by pretty fast. I did it this past weekend, and I wanted to try to be able to stitch it while listening or watching some of the learning that D Stitches puts together. And so I was able to do that this weekend. I had some good time. And it was very interesting because this month was Hatshepsut, and I do enjoy mythology. But it's been a long time since I've listened to any Egyptian mythology. So it was very good to listen to some of the stories and just hear some of the background in regards to how it pertains to trans history, which I believe has been the focus for D20 Stitches for this year. So without further ado, here is Hatshepsut. So the color I think the call for color is like a blue, aqua blue color. And I wanted to continue with my current pattern of using a variegated floss. So the first one was Elagabalus. And I did that with the Pirate and Rabbit Floss Spiderweb. So I wanted to do a variegated thread. And the one that I had on stash from, I believe, my Twisted Mermaid was a Karen Water Lily Bermuda Reef. And so that's the one that I used because I thought that it went well. Kind of me thinking of water and like the Nile River and of Egypt. Kind of made me think of that and made me think that it's a little similar to what the called for thread was. So it was really nice to work with. Like, I love Karen Water Lilies because Nora Corbett uses it for her patterns, and it just feels so soft. So this went by super fast. I did it all on the weekend, and I enjoyed it. So I was really happy to get that done. Yeah, I'm hoping I can continue that pattern of just keeping up with each motif as they come out each month. And then my start that I will show is Aries. So my Zodiac for Nora. I'll show a picture here. Right, so beautiful lady. And I think I have it in this place that I want to. Granted, I've already made good work on it. So I've already made good work on it. If I'm repeating, I'm sorry because I saw a phone call. And we'll see if it stays in the right place. This one, y'all have been seeing because you've seen it with Sagittarius. I just have a needle deciding to go rogue on me here. Let me put it back. And let's see. So I'll show you the whole thing. Right? And so then Aries is this piece. So all that brown in the middle, that's the hair. And then the gold-ish region is... Ooh, yeah, I'm hoping you guys are seeing it pretty good. The gold region is the horn. And that was the top crown part of the arch. So this is the first time that I worked with light effect, with DMC light effect. And I do agree with people, I am not a fan of it. Like, I would think that it's worse than Kreinik. I would rather work with Kreinik than with the light effect. But I've already included it in the pattern, so I'm going to stick with it. Granted, thankfully, I don't think Nora uses light effect that often in her patterns. At least I haven't come across it until now, and I'm hoping that's the case, because otherwise I probably will be switching it to like Rainbow Gallery. If she continues to need light effects, I really don't like it. But that is her goal. My goal is to get her finished, hopefully, if not by this month, then at least beginning of March. I would love to get her done. And you guys have been hearing my goals of trying to get all the three of the Zodiacs done on this piece, the fire Zodiac. So I already had Sagittarius done. That's what you saw. Working on Aries, and then the next one that I was going to start in March is Leo. So I'm trying to work through those. And then my whips we'll have here. Do I want to do this one? We can do this one first. I worked a couple of times on Art Deco tree. And that is it's a Patreon exclusive from Nora Corbett. And I thought that I was going to work with the bejeweled thread that I'll show here. But thankfully, I only put like one piece of floss. I sewed that or stitched that over the area that I needed, and I didn't like it. I felt like here it looked beautiful. I love the saturation of the bejeweled, this dark blue teal color. And then this was the called for that Nora wanted, which is Pine Forest. So if I put these next to each other, like side by side, so bejeweled, give me a second. Bejeweled on top, Pine Forest is on bottom. They almost look the same. It's just that bejeweled is a little more saturated. But I didn't like how it was looking. So I took out that piece of thread and I went with the called for. And I like it much better. So this is Art Deco tree. And when you guys saw it, I had finished deer and the antlers. So really what I worked on was all the blue on the bottom. And starting up on some of the vines, that brown piece is kind of like golden leaves and vines that she has on the bottom. So you guys have heard me chat that this one, it's all like complete symmetry. And so far I'm doing okay with it. this bottom part where the blue is, all that is a bit thicker, wider than the top. So I'm hoping to continue my strategy of just staggering back and forth, working on different parts on either side so I don't feel like I'm doing the same thing but just in mirror. Like I said, it's working so far. And this is same thing. I'm trying to get this one done by the Mirabilia retreat in March. Yep, for Australia, which is now like 4 weeks away, and that is crazy. I mean, I signed up for this like a year ago, and now it's here. So that is wild to me. That is Art Deco, and then I worked on 2 more items. Yeah, 2 more items. I feel like I'm going really fast. I don't know why. Whoop. The next one that I worked on was Cinderella by Brooke's Publishing. And so this is her. I mainly worked on, I don't think you guys can see, but I worked on the silver Krynic. This thing is super bejeweled, where I have, whoops, sorry, give me a second, where it's really a lot of silver within that white. I don't know if I can get in. And granted, it probably gets masked because the fabric itself is raw opalescent linen. But I got all the silver Krynic that was coming tapered from her waist, and so my goal is to just continue with the white thread down until the bottom of the dress. But I'm trying to think. I'm not trying to push because I started it for Allison's Princess birthday sale, and that was for January. So now that we are in February and I've got other goals, I will likely be slowing down on the princesses, and I'm gonna have to start hammering out the Noras. Those will have to get done. And then in this same bag, I have my this huge bag. This huge bag has, because I have my little tags, has 4 projects in it. Very big bag, but carries lots of opportunities to work on stuff. So this one, and you guys have seen, I've got like my jumbled, wonderful mess of threads or floss within the project. Are they all like that? No, I think on some projects I have them in Ziploc bags. On other projects I have the floss on rings. This one is just all jumbled in like a nest within the fabric. That's how it works. This one is the Woodland Winter Sal from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And we are now on part 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? Yeah. Part 4. And I think part 5 comes out. Part 5, which is the last one, I think comes out the 15th. Probably around there. And I am keeping up, which I'm really happy with. So this is it. So this is all of it. So part 1 was the house with the trees. Part 2 was that full coverage with the deer and the squirrel. 3 was the bottom part of that middle tree with the little pieces. And then part 4 now is essentially a couple of snow slopes with a couple cabins. And I got one of them done. So this, I am so happy to still be keeping up with. It is super cute. Like, I love how Erin designs things. And this just, even though, again, this is not my cup of tea, like, this is probably the first house I have ever cross-stitched. And I just enjoy the way that he uses negative space and the way he uses color to form designs. Like, it's just, it's been a great piece. I've been happy with it. And so, and it's gonna come to a close. And they both said that they wanted it to be that way, like a quick sal that can be done in the winter time, because we're still in the winter mood when it started. But right now, and I'll talk a little bit later, as you guys can all see from Needlework Marketplace and other people, we are ready for spring. A little bit of winter happening, but people are ready for some spring designs. So that was my last whip. Yeah. So we breezed through those. After this, I have some haul, because I definitely got a few things from 123 Stitch. Also got a couple of fabrics from my LNS that I will show you, because those will be small stitches that I consider surprise starts for the month that I do plan to do this month and finish. And again, I should be able to show you next time in 2 weeks. But if I happen to bulldoze through those and just FFO them and give them to the people that I want to give them to, then I will do a little short so that way you guys can see what the FFO product is. But I'll talk about what I'm considering a start. So the other start that I plan to do in February is with this piece of fabric. It's going to be the Morell Mushroom Cinnamon from Owl Forest Embroidery. I already did their Amanita Bistro, and I'm planning to do all of their mushroom and frog scenes. So for Funguary, which is February in the art world, some people do February, so fairies. I love following what prompts artists follow to draw in a month, and I wanted to celebrate Funguary cross-stitch style. So that's where the Morell mushroom is coming in. So I'm going to start it at some point. The Amanita Bistro I finished in like 3 weeks, but I was really putting work into it. I don't think I'd finish this one as fast, but the goal is that it won't take me forever. It'll probably take me a month or a month and a half to do. So that's definitely a planned start for this month. The two surprise starts that I'll show on fabric. This is a leftover piece from the Chaos Birds. And this was the Mogollon Monster of Arizona from Black Dahlia Fabrics. And she normally does Ada, but this was a 28 even weave that I got from her. And it has nice modeling, and it's like a purple gray that worked out for the Chaos Birds for those colors. And here I plan to put some of the eras of the Aries tours cross stitch pattern that the Witchy Stitcher did. So she did it in her Patreon, because I follow her on Patreon now, because I totally fell in love with her nostalgic tarot that she puts out there, and so I joined for those. But all these surprise stitches that she comes out with, I am absolutely living for. So she came out with a full-on ghostly Aries tour frame where she made each of the eras a ghost and a ghost theme for it. So on the fabric that I've got, I'm not going to do all of them, but for the person that I'm thinking of doing it for, I'm going to do 3. And I already know which 3 I want to do. I won't say what they are. I'll show you as I go, and at the end I'll tell you what eras they were. I'm not like a huge Swiftie. Do I like Taylor Swift music? Yes. I grew up with her. I think she's 2 years older than me. And I enjoy listening to her music, but I'm not a diehard fan. The person that I want to stitch this for is definitely a Swiftie. And when I saw the Witchy Stitcher come out with this pattern, I immediately thought of her. And I said, okay, I will only do the few, because maybe one day I'll consider doing the whole frame, but for now I just wanted to do really small. And I even already got the frame that I plan to put this small finish on. So I'll show you that, and you can tell me if it's appropriate or not. But this is it. And this one I found at Home Goods. And I thought oh my gosh, this is totally appropriate because the frame is multicolored glitter. I was like, yes, this is exactly what would work. And it's a 5x7. I want to say the pattern would be like 2.3 by 6.3. So it may be almost close to the edge here, but this was big enough for it. So I am really happy with how this will be. I'll likely do a similar thing where I'll put, I think I put medium weight interfacing on the back where it's like ironed on, and it made it stiff enough that it looks completely smooth and I can just fold the edges around, iron those, and then the back of the frame, this part just easily slipped right on and nothing shifted. So it worked great for the last one. I am hoping the same is for this one. So that's what this fabric is for. And I think I'm going to start it tonight because I really like to think it's cute, and I think it'll be a fast stitch. So I will work on that tonight. The other one that I got the fabric for at my L&S is going to be, it's a really big piece. I don't know what other things I'm going to stitch on it, but this is Atomic Ranch. Doesn't really have a name to it, but it's a fat quarter, and it's this dark brown fabric that has some darker shades of modeling to it, and I immediately loved it for Mama Witch Stitch's little ghosties. She's got in her shop, she's got a multiple ghosts that are like 2 inches by 2 inches, and I knew that was gonna kind of do that. And they are doing the cutest things. So there's one that's like ghost coffee, there's ghost tea, there's ghost laundry, and then I got one that was essentially ghost toilet. So it's a little ghost on a toilet. I was like, oh, this is too cute. So the person that I knew that I've been wanting to do this for, I'm doing the ghost tea. And like I said, it's 2x2. It's going to be a mini thing. But this fabric I thought would be perfect for the background because hopefully I would have already shown a picture. But the tea is essentially the ghost as a tea bag with some motifs around it. But all of the background is the color of the fabric. And I wanted to have some contrast. So I felt like this was good contrast, but with a little bit of fun with the modeling. So I think I'm going to do, for that same person, ghost tea and ghost coffee. And they're going to be on this one. But I know I'll have plenty of fabric. And it's beautiful for a couple of her other patterns that are just there. The majority of her patterns are like on dark fabrics. But I don't know what I'll do that for. But for now, I know I'm going to do it for ghost tea and ghost coffee. So that is this one. When I'm going to start that one, I don't know. That one, I've noticed that, at least at work, the time period that people get really down in is March. It's kind of that thing where up here, at least, March is supposed to be the beginning of spring, right? The beginning of sunshine and flowers and growth, and it's snowy. It's still cold up here. So I think people get a little bit, their morale is low. They get a little bit more upset. They feel more down because they expect that, yeah, spring is supposed to be here. Spring's supposed to come, but my environment is still not spring. And that's probably why I'm doing some of these things, is to just be little pick-me-ups. Just saying, guys, like, it's okay. Spring will be here. And so that is that one. The other fabric that I got from my L&S were for the So Stinking Cute pack from Dirty Annie's. And I got this one for the fall needlework market, the virtual one. But aren't they cute? I mean, I got them in the fall but I was still thinking of Valentine's. Like, look at the skunks. Look at this skunk. Like those two skunks, please. Aww. Those motifs are cute there where they make a grid. And then this one here on the end with the roses, it reminds me of Flower from Bambi. And I just want to stitch it. I want to stitch all of them. This was the first time for me where I saw like a booklet with multiple patterns and I wanted to do all of them. Normally, if I see something like this, I just see one. I'm like, oh, one's cute, but I never buy it because I don't just buy it for the one. This is the first time where I want to get when I want to do all three. So since I had that, I knew I wanted to do it, didn't know when, but then, yeah, it's Valentine's, right? It's Valentine's week and kind of got in the mood for it. So then the fabric that I found at my LNS is Cappuccino by Fiber on a Whim, because I wanted something that looked a bit neutral. So it's just like a neutral brown, has a little bit of modeling, but barely any. I thought this was a good piece of fabric. It'll probably fit 2. I hope it would. I mean, I hope it would fit all 3, but at least 2 of them should fit on it. So that is fun. I'm realizing I like the light brown. I think I love those neutrals. I mean, I love color too. You guys are going to see multiple colorful stuff, but maybe I'm just in the extreme where I love super colorful and then I love a nice brown. So you may see mixtures of those. Alrighty, I think those are my fabrics that are haul. These are 2 patterns and 2 kits that I saw kind of on sale-ish. I've been now looking at the 1, 2, 3 like weekly ad, and that's a very bad idea because that's where I see designers that I know I'm interested in, and if I see something that's actually on sale, then I want to grab it. So 2 of them are Mirabilia, and I have a list, right, of all the patterns that I like, and I especially saw if I put a star next to it because that means on a separate time I've looked at the same Mirabilia list and I chose that I liked the same pattern twice, so I knew I really liked it. So this one is Moonflowers. So she like that the different varieties of fabric and the contrast, I love it. It reminds me of like Muka, Gypsy Queen, which is one of my whips. The Fairy Idol, oh my god, if I could ever. I know it's out of print and it's like beyond expensive, especially from the way that Cross Stitch the Globe did their thing. Like, those beautiful, like, was it Sleeping Princess or Princess and the Pea type stuff. I just love all those blankets. So got this one, which I was really happy about. And then the other one I got is Miss Dancing Flower, and I already own Princess Eliana, so when I saw that this one was on sale, I said, yeah, this is an appropriate companion to Princess Eliana. I haven't started that one, and I haven't started this one. I'm trying to get through my current Mirabilia whips, so that way I can then launch into the other patterns that I've started collecting. Those were those 2. And then I have to, I mean, I think I blamed Amy last time too, but yes, I blamed Amy for showing all her kits and her kit parade so that I got interested in what some kits look like. So again, I saw, when I looked through her, she did the kit parade, I saw like Lena Ova and Letty Stitch seemed like designers that I would be interested in. So again, I was on 123 Stitch looking at different sales, and so they had one from Letty Stitch that I went, oh, this seems interesting. And again, it's normally not my style, and I normally don't do kits, but oh my goodness, if I become a kit person, I'm not gonna hate it. So this one is New York City. It's New York. Yep. This one is New York. And it's New York on a rainy day. This one is with Anchor Floss, which I've never worked on. I'll try to get close. And I don't know what made me get this. I think the colors, there's like some contrast. I think the challenge, because I always like to go big. And I wonder if part of it is that my mom got me technically my mom got me my first kit for Christmas this year. And I started it like right when I got it. And it's a landscape as well. And it's like a landscape of going down some like Greek stairs. It's either Greece or Italy, one of the Mediterranean cities. And there's an arch of flowers and you see a boat out on the ocean. And so that's a beautiful scene, and I'm stitching that. And then granted, so now when I stitch that one, I think of my mom. But then when I saw this one, like Dad, when he came to this country, he lived in Queens, so he went straight to New York City. And granted, we've been to New York because we originally were born in Boston and stuff. But when I saw this, I immediately thought of Dad. Like, Dad got to explore New York City in that way. So I feel like now I have one pattern that I think about my mom when I stitch, and then this is a kit that I can think about Dad. Again, when am I going to start it? Who knows? So, but that is this one. And like with anything, it comes with all the flosses. It comes with a Aida. Is that 16? I think that's 16 count Aida. Which usually I think my sweet spot's 32 count, so that works out. And then this one I saw and I fell in love with it because the subject is one of my favorite subjects, which is mermaids. So this is a Mallorca kit, a pattern kit, and it is stars. Now, you tell me how you can resist this mermaid. Now, I enjoy all the colors. The contrast. Like, she's beautiful. There is a little bit of back stitching. I just fell in love with this. And she is DMC, so I went, oh, thank God. I know DMC. And it looks like you can put, the floss, and they have floss cards as well. But isn't she, to me, she's so beautiful. She was one of the kits of a subject matter, and I said, yes, that is for me. So those are two kits that I got. And then I got some Happy Mail, where I wanted to start building some floss in my collection. Kind of some variegated ones. And the one that I considered is Night Stalker's Calling. I'm just saying, if Pirate and Robin wants to do a monthly floss club, I would definitely join that one. But for now, I enjoy buying her threads on Etsy. But I thought this way I can just build up a few different colors that I don't have to choose, and that way when a pattern like these 20 stitches, Stitch for Pride comes along, something like that, where I want to do variegated, but I kind of have to decide on the spot and not have to wait, then I've got a stash. So Night Stalker's Calling, it's just cotton. It's not silk. But they do come, they're giving 3. So they give 3 a month, which I thought was good. And so the 3 that we got are these. Like I said, I am just trying to build up my collection. So I've enjoyed some of the ones that I bought from them. This one is called Falling in Love. I'll try to put them single. This one's Commitment. Feels like there's a Valentine's one. And then this one is Stability. So I'll be happy to add them to my variegated floss collection. And then the other one that I bought once I heard about it, because I went, no way. It seems like the silliest thing, but it's the finger counter. It's the ring finger counter. So if you guys haven't heard of this, don't feel bad. I literally just found out about this past weekend. But I wanted to give this a go since I am trying to keep track of my stitches. And if it's on Pattern Keeper, then fantastic. And I am trying to figure this out as we're talking, so if I mess this up, I'm sorry. Woo! So then, granted, it's been a bit of a bear to try to just highlight on paper. Like, the highlighting on paper is fine. I can do that. I can highlight all day as I stitch. But it's going back to count what I've done to the point that, yes, I highlight different colors for the different days that I stitch. That's fine, but it's counting. I don't want to just sit there and count each time. So when I heard that people have been doing counters, I went, and they said it was a ring finger counter. I was like, what are you doing? And I hear that people do this for knitting, but then they said you can do it for cross stitching. So I got the pack of, it was like a pack of 10. I also wanted to make that like my little table gift for people at the Australia retreat. So whoever ends up being on my table, I don't know if you guys are watching, but now you know what I'm gonna give you. I said this is the first time. I just got this today. I just opened this right before filming, so I've never even used it. But supposedly the goal is like, if people were knitting, then the ring thing is right here, and you just go click, click, click. Yep. Click each time. And then after you finish, you bloop. I say that and then it doesn't work. And then you reset. And I was like, no way. Now, like I said, I just got it, so I'm gonna have to figure out logistics of, does it really work when, you know, when you're stitching and then highlighting and then clicky counting, if it'll do the trick, if it'll like calm me down, and if making sure I don't accidentally press the reset button and not even know what the number comes in. I can see some ways that this could be bad, but I'm trying to be positive. We'll see if this works. I'll let you know in the next video if I feel like it's a saving grace for counting, if you are ever interested in how many stitches you've counted. So that is my new haul from today. And then the last thing that I usually show people is if I sewed a stitching bag, then I show it. And I did work on one 2 weekends ago. And this is my bag for Festive Fervor from Todo Stitch. I think of it as like my candy bag, because I wanted something colorful, crazy, that seemed like a circus, because Festive Fervor is definitely a circus mandala. And so I wanted something that just had crazy candy stuff. So I think it turned out beautiful. The bottom is like a bunch of desserts, ice cream stuff. The back is a bunch of candies. And then the purple in there is one of Tula Pink's Alice in Wonderland backgrounds. So that is her. And I was able to make my little bed thread with it that I've been loving. So, right. So I got my bed thread, and this is for my needle holders to just hold them there. So I was excited to show that to you guys. Okay. I think that is pretty much it. People I've been watching Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, all her Nashville Needle Market videos, and it's killing me. And so is Instagram, because there's thankfully I don't want all of them. Like a decent amount of them are samplers. Thank goodness I'm not a huge fan of samplers. but they are very tempting. Autumn Lane Stitchery, I didn't realize were coming out with new patterns, and so I saw a couple of them. Definitely one that I want from them is the Summoner, and that looks cool. And I think it goes with the Collectors, which I don't think I have the Collectors, and I thought that one was creepy cool as well. So I may have to get that one to complete this, to like complete the set. I don't know how big of a series Erin is going to do that. So I'm going to get those. And then the other person that has kind of like positively derailed my February is Cam the Stitcher, because on her last YouTube video, she is obsessing with Nosferatu and is going to do a sampler with the color conversions from Color and Cotton based off of the color palette from Nosferatu. Granted, when she showed the color palette, I went, ooh, like, it looked nice. It was very goth pastel-y, a little bit muted. And then the pattern that she chose was Regina Heibel. And mind you, I haven't done a sampler ever, because alphabets that, like, letters kill me. I don't like stitching words like that. Like, the idea that you give me a full-on verse of something to be able to stitch, no, I don't like it. It doesn't attract me. And like, ironically, this sampler has the alphabet, 4 times? Like, 2 times capital letters, 2 times lowercase. But they are designed enough, like, one of them is all the capital letters in Gothic style. Like, that for me is art. And the top one is similar, so it's not just basic. It just doesn't look super basic linear. And then it just has a couple motifs on the bottom, so it's not crazy. And I think it'll look gorgeous in the conversion that she is doing. So I immediately on 123 Stitch, I went to my LNS first to see if they would have the sampler. I didn't see it there. So I got it on 123 Stitch, went on Color and Cotton to get her conversion threads. I've never worked with Color and Cotton before, so this is going to be my first time working with them. Cam put on her Instagram, on her stories, the conversion chart. I'm hoping that she'll come out with like the 1-to-1 conversion, because she's done that with some of her other conversions. So I'm hoping to see that. And then I believe she's starting it on Valentine's Day. I don't think I'm going to get the pattern until the 16th, supposedly. So probably not till next Monday. But when I get it, I will start it. And that one, likely I'm going to go Saturday if I don't have time tomorrow or Friday to go to my LNS to pick a fabric for it. It's likely going to be a light brown. So that's probably one of my other surprise starts. I absolutely loved it, and I want to feel like I am starting something with her in this journey for Nosferatu. So yeah, so those are like my plans. So I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. By then it'll be the end of February, and I hope I get to show you a few finishes in the flesh. And we'll see how many of my goals I got to get done by then. Hope you guys have a good rest of the month. Hope you guys enjoy the Valentine's however you do, whether by yourself, whether with your gal pals, whether with your partners, and that you guys stay warm. Bye!